Hello and welcome to one more session of personality development communication skill classes. So in the last few classes we're discussing about communication, its importance, the different types of communication. So to move on with the next concept of communication, we'll discuss today about listening skills and the process of listening. As you know, communication involves transfer of messages between people or groups, and so in this process the listening part is one of the important tool. Why? Because if not proper listened or heard, the message may not be reaching the target audience, or it may not give the required meaning which the sender has intended to give. So what is listening? Listening is nothing but hearing in a thoughtful content and attention about something. So you may say, what is hearing then? So hearing is about whatever sound waves, whether in words or in sounds and symbols, fall on your ear, and how you grasp and analyze it, that is what is called as hearing. Okay, so the process of hearing with a thoughtful attention, you're just listening, like nothing goes inside your brain, that is not called as listening. So normally whatever we learn, whatever happens around us, so the communication is basically 40 to 50% is done by mere listening. Okay, so proportional time spent by students or anybody in general in communication activities, so 40 to 50% we are just listening. See, hardly 15 to 70% we are reading. Especially if you talk about academics, reading plays a very low part in communication, in knowledge gaining, in you can say upgrading our intellect. So listening has a major role to play, followed with speaking. And so the writing and reading concept, so actual written communication, we are hardly spending 20 to 30%. So most of our life we are listening more than what we are reading or writing. Okay, then we'll talk about the process of listening, or you can say the steps involved in listening. So for that you have to first receive the message or the sound, then you have to pay attention, then understand it, respond, and finally try to remember. So one by one in detail we discuss about the process of listening. So first is receiving the message. So when you say listening, it means it is a process of psychologically receiving the sound waves. The sound waves may be in the form of words, in the form of sound. Okay, so it depends upon how attentive we are. Okay, so hearing is about a physiological process of receiving sound waves, and a great deal depends on how attentive we are. Everyone don't hear the same way. Each person prefer a certain level of frequency. When you say frequency, the pitch of the sound. Somebody may hear even a message which is whispered. Some people don't hear even if you make a loud noise. Okay, so the intensity of hearing depends on the person, high, low pitch. So in general, listeners can process more than 400 words per minute, but we can't speak so fast. Okay, we can hardly speak 125 to 175 words per minute. So this gap between what we can listen and what the speakers speak, this leads to, you can say, deviations, or this is a time because you are not receiving what you want. So okay, maximum 400 words I can listen per minute, but the person speaker can't speak so fast. So that time we try to wander our attention, our you can say mental, it go wanders around, and so many a times the hearing is not done with proper attention. So hearing is all about paying attention and receiving the different types of sounds, maybe in types of words or any other thing. Then the next second process of listening is attention. So I said many things may go around you, there may be loudspeaker going around, but until you pay attention, you will not receive the required message. Now, how can you make a person or the listener to pay attention? So, there are certain qualities of, you can say, the message or the sender which will make us pay attention. So, what are these? We'll discuss in detail. So, we have 9 factors which make the listener to pay attention. So it involves activity, means say example, in a class a teacher is giving lecture on and on theoretical without any activity, then it becomes boring and the listener will not receive the message. Okay, so if some activity is going on, okay, you make them get involved in some, say, practicals, or say some small game is going on, then the interest of the listener increases and he becomes more attentive than normal. Then the second factor here is reality. See, whenever you are talking about something, say a guest speaker or that in the class, or maybe in between friends, you are discussing a topic. So if it is not relevant or it is not touching the reality, it is something imaginary and fake, we will not pay it so much attention. Okay, so somewhere whatever we learn, if it is related to what is reality, we pay more attention. Then the next factor is proximity. Proximity means nearness. So if you are, say, sitting at the last bench in the class, you may not hear whatever the teacher says. So similarly, in a gathering, in a group, you are far away from the speaker, then you will not be attentive because there is a problem of distance. You may not hear it properly or clearly. Then when you are talking about familiar things, okay, things which you have heard or seen before, some people may not be interested in what they have already known. Familiar things they are not interested. Some people listen to those things of which they are familiar to. Say, may the listener is familiar or what he's saying is somewhat, somewhere he has heard. So that time also the attention becomes more. But if it is a same topic which he knows everything about it, then also the listener may not be interested in knowing. Then novelty. Novelty means newness. Okay, whenever you say, for example, you go to see a film or maybe any topic of discussion in the class, the way the teacher says is that same monotonous thing, you feel really bored. Okay, so the same story again and again repeated into a new film, so you will not be interested in watching or listening to it. But if it is something different, what we say hatke, okay, something unique, or the way the teacher teaches you is something different than what you have seen all over the years, then you will be really attentive in listening to what that person is saying. Also, it should have a kind of suspense. Okay, so when something is going on, to create curiosity, the speaker should create an amount of suspense. Say, for example, you are attending a lecture and the orator is a very good orator, he is a good storyteller. So whenever he is telling a small incident to relate to the topic, he is creating a scene of suspense. Then when you are creating a suspense, there is a curiosity among the listener to know what happens next. So how you create the suspense and carry out, that is really important. Similarly, even in films, okay, so if there is a suspense movie, say something detective kind or something, if that suspense is carried out till the end, you will be really interested to see the film. But if on the halfway around you yourself guess what may be the culprit or what may be the secret, then there is no attention or curiosity to prolong or listen to that story. Next is conflict. So whenever there is a discussion, when somebody is speaking, there should be some error, you can say there should be a point where there should be contradictory statements wherein a conflict arises. Say a teacher says something, or a speaker to whom you are speaking speaks about something which you don't feel it is correct, or it may be half information. So when there is when you are familiar about it and somebody is speaking something wrong, then there is a chance of discussion and brainstorming. So this conflict creates attention among the listeners. Also, when you are talking about something, there should be a pinch of humor. Humor makes the talks interesting and they become more attentive. Also, the speaker shouldn't speak about irrelevant, silly things. They should be of vital importance, along with humor, conflict, suspense. So if you are talking about nonsense, silly things, the listeners will not be attentive in what you want to say. So this is the second process of listening. Then the third thing, once you got it, you listen, you are attentive. So when you listen to it attentively, you grasp the message and you try to analyze it in a way which we can attach meanings to it through, say, symbols or colors, or maybe with past association, so that you can understand it and keep it in your mind. Okay. So along with the words, along with the sound, colors and the type of sound also helps in understanding the message. Say for example, something is going on, there is a message said and there is a applause. Then you understand that this is something good, positive, somebody has said something good, so it is about worth listening to. On the other hand, if there are vague noises, you feel that this session is boring, so it's better not to take it in your brains. Even the colors play an important role in understanding what is happening around and the sounds. So being attentive doesn't mean that you attend, and sometimes many a times what happens is people are very attentive but they don't understand a single thing. Okay, why? Because they have not analyzed it and tried to understand it. So the listener should try to intend the meaning. If he is having doubts, there should be a question or feedback so that they can clear their doubts and understand the message clearly. Then listening, hearing, understanding. The last thing is remembering. So this is an important step, because you just listen. Many a times what happens is we listen, we are attentive, but it doesn't stay in your data bank in the brain. So when you store it and when you're giving the feedback about it, or maybe you're contradicting or having some discussion about it, then only we can say that you have remembered. So whatever you have listened has gone in your brain and it is stored in the bank. So unless the topic is interesting, about your knowledge, maybe the speaker was good, you can't remember the things. So how you remember the things? You associate with some event or say something in that. So until you are convinced, happy and understand that topic, you will never remember whatever you have heard. Many times what has happened is we hear something originally, and when you are trying to recall it, something else comes out. Okay, so because you have interpreted it wrongly, so the message is overturned. Then next is evaluating the message. So evaluating means when you have listened, you remember, you are trying to say whether whatever that speaker has said, is it right or wrong? How much truth is there in that? Is it a biased talk, or it is a normal unbiased message? So you are trying to, when you understand and remember it, you are trying to analyze it based on your past events, and thereby trying to know whatever you have learned is good, bad, truth or false, is it biased. So based on that you can make a judgment and give your feedback, and thereby you respond and give your feedback to your listener. Now these are some peculiar statements, or you can say data about listening. So I told you normal average persons can speak about 150 to 175 words per minute, but listeners can understand about 380 to 400 words per minute. So this difference or a lag or gap between how much you can listen and how much you can speak, this makes our minds to wander, and thereby we don't grasp many things in the message, and the message is not transferred as per desired. So this is the first part of listening. I think we'll wind up our session today, because there is a next topic where we are talking about different types of listening, type of listeners. So in our next class, I will give you the details about that. So any doubts about the process of listening, how important it is in communication, you can please raise your queries in the comment box. Subscribe to my channel so that you get further notifications of my videos. So that's all for today. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you.